Hello buddy, welcome back. I'm the Strategy Professor, and today we're going to be starting a brand new campaign for Skarsnik using the Steel Faith Overhaul mod. I'm also using JR's Skill Tree Overhaul and Vandy's Rights for Old World factions. Okay, so let's go ahead and get in here.
I fight for the
This
greater
campaign
good.
is very, very hard. This is going to be like, I've tried this 4 or 5 times at the beginning just to sort of see which strategy I want to do. It is extremely hard. I think this is one of the hardest campaigns on the map for several reasons. We'll talk about it when we get in there. But how it works is you are the Greenskins. You have a WA system, so basically you have to do a lot of aggressive things, killing people, raiding, all of that stuff. Once that happens, then you get an extra 17 to 20 stack army that will accompany you for a short period of time. You really have to leverage that to make up for how weak the Greenskins are, particularly the Goblins, because you have to get all Goblins pretty much at the start of this. So it's really challenging. It's really fun. It's a very very micro-intensive faction because you have to constantly micro all these Goblins. You know, a lot of these fights you're going to have 40 units. They're all like trash units. Think of like if you played StarCraft, like Zerg and Zerglings. And you just have to micro them all around and somehow pull out a victory. Every faction's going to have better better quality units than you, even the Skaven. So requires a lot of micro. But I think it's a lot of fun. If you're up for a challenge, it's very good. But anyways, you get 50% off of hero action costs. You get extra experience. They have a very good assassins. Upkeep and recruitment costs minus 25% for goblins, and then you get a special chain. You're trying to fight for 8 peaks along with Queek and Belagar, and you start the furthest away and you have the toughest start position by far. You get free lightning strike battles with Skarsnik, although you don't want to lightning strike most of the time because your 1v1 is bad. So we won't use that at least early on in the game, but it might be handy later. Probably get hero action success chance, which is really nice once again with the assassin. And then all of your goblins, night goblins, get 5 extra melee attacks. That's pretty good. Okay, so part of what makes this campaign particularly challenging is not just that you have really weak units, but it's also because you're squared off against the Dwarfs in early conflict. And the Dwarves are very strong. They have been buffed a lot since the base game, especially on Steel Faith. Really, really strong. They have way more armor, way more melee defense, just way more leadership, just way more everything. You're going to have to outnumber them. Usually at least 2 to 1 to have a chance. So that makes it difficult. And you don't start with a provincial capital. You start with just a little small town. You're completely surrounded by hostiles, and virtually everywhere around you is unpleasant territory. So that means that it's really not going to be that profitable to try to occupy almost anything at the beginning. You're just going to have to try to sack and run. So it's almost like you're a horde faction, but you're not really a horde faction because if you lose all your buildings, you're going to start taking attrition. And you don't get as much for sacking and raiding as someone like Chaos would. I saw like the baby gate near the stairs move over there. I don't really understand what's up with that. Maybe the cat moved it because the baby's not here and my wife's not here. So either the cat or a ghost. So if I get like possessed in the middle of the stream, or in the middle of a game, it wasn't my fault. I don't know, that was just weird. Anyways, let's get in here. So what you have to do is a strategy that I don't really like at the very beginning, which is you have to raid your own territory while you stock up. But you can't go hostile with Empire early on or they'll kill you. Same thing with all these other factions. They're so much stronger than you. You really don't want any more aggressors than you have to get. One of the attempts that I just tried after we took Carrick Norn, I tried to get cute and go for Nolan over here. Pick up some extra cash. Well, it turns out they had 40 stacks over there, and Belagar came over, so I had to try to take 60. I almost got it, but that last 20 stack did in the end. I didn't have enough replenishment. So yeah, you have to be very, very careful. You have to tread really carefully because they will kill you. Alright, first up, we have to get rid of this Ragnarok Spider. It sucks. Usually I hate getting rid of the elite unit, but they buffed the Dwarves and they've nerfed this to an extent. I don't know how they nerfed it precisely, but it doesn't put up the numbers. Like back in the base game, this thing would kill 300 or 400 units in a fight, and I think they've lowered the amount of like area of effect damage that it does, or its attack rate, something. But routinely, when I've tried doing this run with the Ragnarok Spider, it'll get maybe like 70 kills in a fight, and that's just, you just can't do that if you're paying, you know, almost 700 upkeep when you could get goblins for 78 gold. you know. So this thing is not worth 9 stacks of goblins. So we gotta get rid of it. As much as I hate it, we'll probably revisit some of those later with other lords, but that has to go on turn 1. And then we have to raid our own territory to try to get a rebellion, and then we have to kill these rebellions in order to get some cash. Ultimately, what we have to have is at least one 17 stack with a WA, with the bonus army, and then a little bit of another army as well to be able to take these dwarves, especially in a siege. Like, we have to have 50 to 60 units to beat them in a siege, because they're going to have 32 potentially here. Last time I tried this, they came at me. So they ran at me over here. Because I didn't have the Ragnarok Spider. I think they perceived me to be weak, so they decided to come at me, and we managed to beat them in a really tough fight. It sucks that campaign kind of fell through, because I got too greedy going for the humans over there. I got really confident, and it didn't work out. Now, these things are not amazing, but they're only 106 gold. How much are normal archers? Normal archers are 104. But these do have a little bit of a charge bonus. They can get to decent melee attack. There are less of them than these archers, but I've tried this, like, not doing the wolves, but I think that maybe I can afford some wolves. Having a little bit of extra, like just something you could flank and hit people with, is really handy. What's the difference here? Okay, so that has 35 charge bonus. This has 27. 21 melee attack. 24 melee attack. 38. 35. Shields, no shields. I'm just trying to think of which one, because I feel like these, the fact that they also have missiles, could be pretty handy. So you lose a little bit of effectiveness. A little bit goes a long way with goblins, though, because these are like 200 stacks of these, 220 stacks of these. So a little bit can go a long way. Now, one thing that I noticed, I had thought about going all night goblins or all like skulkers, nasty skulkers, but the normal goblins actually have 33 armor, which is really, really handy, and 27, which is nice. So the night goblins only have 18 armor, so these are like your best bet, like frontline go-to infantry units, and you'll want a good stack of these to keep that happening. Goblin Archers are extremely underrated. These things are very powerful for their cost, for 78 gold. It only looks like they do 17 missile damage, which is weak, but there's 150 of them in a stack, and even if they only do, you know, 3 damage per, like, missile, because they're facing dwarves that have a lot of armor and shields and things like that, that's still a lot. That's still 450 damage per volley per unit, which chips away really quickly at the enemy. So these are a lot stronger than they might first appear if you get them in very large numbers. Once again, stats are awful on goblins, but you have really good upgrades you can get for them, and they are dirt cheap. Absolutely dirt cheap, which is great, so you can get up to 17 units really quickly. Okay. Let's go ahead and, I could go ahead if I wanted to and just start, like, messing with this guy down here. I don't know if it's worth the gold every turn, though. We could... I'm gonna just put him in this army for now.
I got some brother.
Okay, and then we're gonna hire just standard.
I like a good plan.
Now I have to decide if I want to go for those wolves right now or just wait a little bit and get them later. We definitely want this because we want archers for sure. I was trying to decide if this is worth, and I think it is 104, so they're basically the same price. But just having that extra speed and mobility, and I think especially with these archers, having just a handful of those could be good. Now those are 106, these are 104, so they're almost the price of normal archers. The problem with these, though, is if you have too many normal archers, then it's really, they'll get on top of each other and all of them won't fire, and you'll have a hard time with that. So I do want, like, some wolf archers, I think. Although these do have 35 armor as well. They both have 35 armor, so I guess that's a wash. Okay, let me go ahead and hire a lord. So you want to get a second lord right away so that you can start raiding. I forgot to go into raiding stance. So you can recruit in raiding stance as well. And we want to get the second lord going just so that we can raid as fast as possible and try to level them up. And you need to get the goblin lord. Okay. Ambush success chance is actually pretty good. The poison attacks doesn't matter because we're going to get drip and tips, which gives everybody in your army poison attacks, including your archers, which is very nice.
Who can I stand?
So that looks a little goofy, like why would you get a war boss when you can't recruit all the way to the end? But the trick is you want to try to raid this as fast as possible in order to get as many rebellions as you can. And so that's really the key why you do this.
Great and powerful war boss.
Let's see, so we've got all that. We don't need to, like, emergency. You can hire globally if you need to, like, in a
war boss.
pinch emergency here if you raid. But, we're not going to need to do that. Diplomatically, everybody hates you, so you can't do anything early on. Once we get south into the Badlands, if we get that far, then we have more stuff. As far as techs go, we'll talk about the techs later, but pretty much you have to get a Goblin Rocklobber building before you can get any techs, which is tier 3. It's not going to happen for a while. Or you can pay 10,000 gold and start getting some of these techs. These are new ones that they added in with this mod, which I think is pretty cool. It's a nice trade-off. Sort of expands the Greenskins tech a little bit, which is really nice because Greenskins have some of the worst techs, like, in the game. Like, they're interesting, but they, like, as far as power level, they're really far down the totem pole, I think, compared to others. And they're very heavily gated. Like, you just can't get a lot of techs. The only thing I can think of is maybe, like, the Skaven have much better techs, I think, but they're not as gated. You can get them faster. Okay. I guess we'll hold off on this building. Initially, I had gotten an idols thing to try to have growth, but when you raid your own territory, it lowers the growth. So with this strategy, there's just no way you're getting a tier 3 anytime soon, because it destroys all of your growth. Getting these spider riders, I think, might be okay too later on, although I'm not entirely sure they're worth it. The normal wolves might just be better. Because we're going to get poison anyways. You're paying up for the poison. You do get a bit more armor. 30 melee defense versus 21. So they do have better melee defense. They all have Strider, which is the Strong Vigor. Is handy. We'll see. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get it, though. Well, now we don't have any gold. I'm actually going to wait. I'm going to wait because I want enough gold so I can keep hiring. I don't want to fall short, and we'll see. I don't even think we need that building, honestly. There's not really a good gold generation building like this. Gives you only 50 per turn, which, I mean, they nerfed this a lot. It used to be 200, 300, 400 on the gold, but they've nerfed it, and other buildings can give you gold. Like this will give you a little bit of extra gold, but they really nerfed the greenskin economy, so that you have to raid and you have to, you know, win battles more, which makes sense thematically. Okay, let's go ahead and raiding. Okay, we're good. Another thing they changed. So there's gonna be for this episode. There's gonna be a lot of just me sitting here raiding, and we'll fight some rebellions. We will fight some of the rebellions by hand because if you auto resolve it, it gives you a lot less WA. Because you'll take more casualties than you would normally if you just fought it well. So at least early on, at least that's from what I understand. Because sometimes if I fight it normally, I just don't even get any. We'll see how overpowering sort of our odds are. If it's like, you know, 20 on 8, of course we'll auto-resolve it, but you need to have really clean victories so that you get the extra WA. Another thing about this mod, and I think they did this in the base game, I don't remember, at some point, but it certainly wasn't in there when I did my first Skarsnik campaign. Okay, we're going to do faction-wide army caps. That means that certain elite units, you can only have so many of them. Unless you get like more buildings for it, kind of like how the Tomb Kings work, and every other faction kind of has that as well. So I think that's really cool. It forces extra diversity in the game. More interesting scenarios. I like it. Okay, so we're gonna keep stacking up here. Squig hoppers are awesome, but they require a technology and they require an extra building, a tier 3 building. So we're not gonna be able to get more of those early on. Although I am very interested in getting more later. Okay, it's just lots and lots of goblins. The name of the game here is numbers. It's numbers over... Okay, so this, we're gonna raid this twice.
Oh, I'm gonna enjoy this.
So that will get us to this rebellion a lot faster. And there's no rush on the spider building thing, I don't think, so we can wait a little bit on that. Make sure we have enough gold. I'm only gonna get like a handful of the wolves, probably. The forest goblins, I'm not really impressed with. Because they have really low armor. They do have this lethal poison, which I was kind of like interested to see if that was going to be worth or not, but the low armor really makes them very difficult to frontline with. And I think when I get Drippin' Tips, which puts normal poison on all of your units, I think it replaces the lethal poison, although I'm not 100%. But my main thing is they just have really low armor. So that's why I don't like the Night Goblins early. Although when we can get the Fanatics later on, we'll probably get some Fanatics. But anyways, okay. That going. Still waiting on that. Okay. But yeah, so as I was saying before that popped up, the Empire is united now at the start in terms of like they have that whole province. There are no rebels anymore. In the base game, there were rebels, so you could go pick on the rebels. You didn't have to just raid your own territory. You could just go over and just kill the rebels a lot, and it wouldn't make Carl mad. But now, if I go over there, it's going to make Carl mad. And I've tried raiding this area too. It only gives you like 78 gold or something to raid. It's really not even worth your time, and it's going to make them angry. So we need to, they're all going to fight us eventually, but we need to try to deal with these dwarves and then book it south before they all come in and kill us. So not only can I not tech up to tier 3 right now, I'm going to say rumors are false. Basically, this means that if I attack Empire, that they won't fight each other, basically. They're basically confederated in all but name, and they will eventually start confederating, if you say the rumors are true. So that means you can never fight any of the Empire without all of them coming at you. And historically, I mean, I'm just going to say false. It can make them fight better against Chaos, which would be interesting, but I don't know. I guess if I'm not trying to fight them anyways. I think it makes it more interesting if they're kind of fighting each other too, though. Potentially. I'll say rumors are false. That potentially makes Chaos a little stronger and Vampire counts a bit stronger, because if they're fighting each other, they won't be able to fight those other kind of enemies in Norska.
Who needs stabbing?
But we're just going to keep cranking. Keep on raiding, and we'll put some more on him in a second, but it's really important to get to 17 on one group first, rather than try to split it up among different groups. And we need to try to get to 18, because we're going to have to take the Goblin out. The dude out. At least at some point, so that we can try to assassinate enemy heroes, or crack some walls, or just do something helpful. So we're trying to rush south, if you haven't seen it, towards the Badlands, where Greenskins normally are, where Carrick 8 Peaks is. Once we get Carrick 8 Peaks, we can hire Orc units. I don't remember if I mentioned that or not, but you literally cannot hire Orc units until you get Carrick 8 Peaks. So you have all Goblins, which is fine, because that early game, because that's what I would do in the early game anyways. But eventually, if you don't get it fast enough and it starts to get to the mid to the late game... Okay, no Beastmen. That's just really annoying. They just randomly spawn everywhere, and it can trivialize a lot of the game. I've had that happen in some campaigns, run-throughs. Like if Beastman just a tribe randomly appears right here and just burns Carrick Norn for me. You know, it just takes away a lot of the adventure. Or if they come down here and just clear a path for me by burning a bunch of stuff, it could potentially make it a lot easier. I mean, they could come and attack me too, which would make it a lot harder, but it just adds a lot of extra RNG to the equation that I don't know that I'd really like. I think I want the wolf. I think it charges you a little bit extra if you get the wolf early. I think I might go for that first, just to save the gold. So now it should be 70% reduced cost. So I might actually run him over here and just start... it'll cost me like 70 gold or something to attempt these over here, and you gain a lot of experience off it, so... And this will help me keep an eye on them to see what they're doing. It might actually make them mad, too, so they come over here and try to fight me. The goal is, if we can get them to come over here as a 20 stack and try to fight me near my garrison, which is what they did last time, that'd be really helpful. This is why I didn't buy the spider buildings. We're almost in the red zone. Okay, so we're going to do... I think I do need at least a couple of skulkers. I need this guy to get to a 20 stack too. That's not going to happen for a little bit.
You need me.
I want to buy the skull. I think, like, you don't want to go all out on these. I don't think, like, they're really nice, but they are a bit more expensive than others. And they don't have that armor to frontline. Okay, we can go for a couple of those. I think having, like, 2 or maybe 3 is probably fine. Then we can start hiring over here with this guy. We're going to go in the red pretty soon, as you can see. But we're going to start fighting these also pretty soon, so just want to keep cranking. Yeah, it was a good call not to get the spider building, or I would have already been out of gold. And the most important thing is you just constantly get more units every turn until you get to 17 with both of these, because you have to have 17 to trigger the wall. Okay, let's do it. Yeah, like I said, usually, you know, I don't like the campaigns where you have to sit and chill, and I don't like multi-sacking towns or like farming rebellions and stuff like that, but you have to do that in this campaign. Like, I mean, like, maybe there's another way if I come down here and just... I've tried running down here and fighting Empire, but the thing is, Carl starts coming at you with a 20 stack, and these dwarves start coming over here with a 20 stack, and then you're just bankrupt and injured, and they just kill you. It may not be, like, 100% impossible. It might be. But it's way, way, way worse, so... Okay, yeah, elves are already coming at me. They tend to do that early on.
What a sucking it do you want?
How close are we? 23. I'm wondering if I can go ahead and start... You also have this stance, which gives you an extra... extra fightiness, but it costs you a little bit more wise.
Worthy of Skarsnik.
Is that going to be enough? Yeah, okay, so we'll still get the rebellion. Cool.
You need help?
We don't want to go, like, full-on bankrupt here, but... It's going to be close. We're cutting it close for sure. But we do need to keep hiring. We're obviously in the red right now.
I hear ya.
But yeah, we will have a rebellion here in a second. This dude, how much would it cost to 119? Yeah, I'm not entirely sure it's worth that. Right now, because I'm so short on gold. I think we'll wait a little bit on that.
What you want?
Okay, so let's just put him back in one of these armies. Put him back, over here.
You're the boss.
He did give us a little vision to see sort of what this dude's up to.
Skarsnik, warlord of 8 peaks.
He's almost got his 20 stack.
You want schemes?
Because,
I got
you know, the AI
schemes.
has almost infinite gold. Okay.
Boss of them night goblins.
It also gives you levels to do this, which is really handy. Because then you get like some technologies that'll end up giving us up to 24 extra melee attack on goblins. which is very good. This mod, and I wasn't sure because I'm doing this on the Dark Elf campaign. Be sure to check that out on the channel as well. And I'm going to revisit, if you're coming over from the Dark Elf campaign, I'm going to come back to the Dark Elves. So every couple of weeks, what I'm going to do is just start like switching, just jumping from campaign to campaign, just to keep it fresh. So I'm not sitting on like one campaign for like 3 months while we go through like 90 one-hour episodes to finish a campaign to get every square inch of a map. So I'm going to start just like jumping around every couple of weeks probably. You know, maybe do like 14 episodes or so on one and then jump over 14 episodes on another. And then we'll eventually come back and revisit. Dung pile explosion. Okay. That's annoying, but it's going to heal in one turn, so it shouldn't matter that much. Now, we are definitely bankrupt next turn if we don't...
Angry.
We definitely need to win this. I think I'm just going to auto it, just because we have such overwhelming numbers.
Who needs stabbing? Alright then, I'll do it. Running! I got me brother.
You know, for real. Okay, let me step back a little bit here.
I'm gone.
Gosh. Did I goof this up where
Great and
you can run
powerful
past other
war
people,
boss.
but I need Skarsnik, I think,
Plotting
to...
and scheming. Night Gobbo war boss. Go
I want
in.
Skarsnik to be the primary, so that
You
he gets the
need me.
experience first. And he has the 18 stack, so...
Make 'em bleed.
Unbreakable, all that stuff. I'm not super ready to hit the wall yet, because I don't have 2 17 stacks, but let's try an auto and see what happens. Okay, yeah, it gave us a lot, because we won very heavily. Okay, good. Did not troll us. And you have to kind of choose, do you want to take a fightiness hit and get more money? And I think right now, yes.
2 in 1.
Alright, so Armor of Fortune. I want that on Skarsnik, though. It's a handy item, but I'm going to yoink that one. Okay, so we just want to go Intimidating Presence, and then we want Beta Knight Stickin' and Dagabos. So that'll give us... we want both of these all the way down, so we get plus 24 melee attack, and then we want Shooters. I know this sounds kind of dumb. It's like the goblins look terrible at missiles, but I'm telling you, after doing this several times, you definitely want this, especially for early game with those goblins. It's really strong. This effectively gives them, you know, 32% extra damage output if they get all of their firing. That's only missile infantry. That does not affect your cav. You don't have anything for cav with the with this guy. You don't have anything for orcs either. You have savages, which is everybody gets 12% extra damage, but you don't have anything for orcs or cavalry or anything like that. You're gonna have to have an orc war boss for that. So really, like, the war that you pick can determine a lot about what your strategy is going to be moving forward. Okay, I'm gonna go Specialist again. The reason that I like Specialist is that's gonna let me come over here if I need to and, like, block army on the Dwarfs as they come through. You can't assassinate wards anymore, which I really like that change. But you can still assassinate heroes, and I think that's fair. I used to not like being able to assassinate a lord and then going in and attacking somebody's army, but I like being able to stop the heroes that are going to sit there and spam you with, like, assassinate lord, you know. Okay, so we want to raid more here.
I'm the best.
So we just want to, like, raid as much as we can get.
Alright.
It gives you extra replenishment. Like, their rating stance is probably the best rating in the game. It's very close. So you don't get a ton of gold off of it. You get decent gold, though. But you get +3 fightiness. You get, it does the standard, you know, people lose obedience and growth and stuff like that. You get 10, so if they attack you, your army gets 10 charge bonus and 5 leadership. So you're not winded, there's no penalty if they attack you while you're raiding. You actually get buffed if they come and attack you while you're raiding. You're immune to attrition, you get constant casual replenishment rate of 12%, so that means you get to replenish. And you can hire with global recruitment. And you get an ambush defense of +25%. So yeah, they really, really like try to emphasize that you should be raiding, which I think is very cool. Now I need to make sure we're in 25% range here. So you have to be 25% chance to raid. There are some factions where you can raid like for free, basically.
Recruiters ready.
So you don't have to use any movement to raid.
Ready for bossing.
Okay, so we're not gonna get it in like one turn. I think did destroyed buildings affect that, or damaged buildings? Yeah, a little bit. How are we getting corruption? I have Skaven corruption? I don't know. Anyways, whatever. Okay, that's fine. These, we're not losing anything. That's fair. Okay, so we're just gonna keep cranking with this guy. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stay off the wolf building for now. It just costs so much extra. Like, I think the wolves would be nice at some point. They'd be particularly good against Empire. Like, the dwarves are so heavily armored anyways. I'm just not sure that it's gonna matter. Let's get a lot of archers. Then eventually we can get some skulkers.
Skarsnik, warlord of 8 peaks.
Yeah, 17. Alright, we're good. Gained. Okay. We're good. So we will get a great fight this episode. I promise you we will fight the dwarves. 99% will fight the dwarves this episode. But yeah, it's just a few quick turns of chilling. Which, once again, I'm a big fan of the factions where there's an army sitting next to you. It's a pretty good fight. Like, your first move of the campaign, get them. You know, kind of like Empire campaign. There's a lot of campaigns that start like that, where you have a very clear adversary and you get them. Like, in the first 2 turns, there's like an insane fight. Not so. Not so with Skarsnik, but in the first episode, we can get a good fight. Because I do the hour-long episodes, not 30 minutes. I try to actually explain stuff. If you've never watched my channel before, I try to explain, obviously, you know, everything that I'm trying to do, like, sort of my reasoning behind it. I mean, it's a strategy game. Why not? Like, I don't know. I don't really like those kind of campaigns where it's like 30 minutes and they just, like, play it on, you know, hard difficulty and just auto-resolve through everything and just never explain what they're doing. Like, it's a strategy game, bro. This isn't like an FPS. Okay. Nice. Yeah, it's not worth to make the Empire mad, I don't think.
What you want?
They're just gonna go down probably with Beta Knight sneaking. Now with this mod, by the way, I didn't mention this mod, so basically it makes the old world faction skill tree layout more similar to Warhammer 2. Well, did I have dripping tips yet? No, that's next level. Okay. I finished this one first because it gives a little more charge bonus to Night Goblin. I don't think it's gonna... Actually, this one does. Oops. There we go. They both give the +12 melee attack to Goblins. But the layout is similar to Warhammer 2, which... That's actually really nice. In the sense that you have kind of a much more variety. At your tier 1 in the red tree is the huge difference. And then your tier 2 in the red tree gives you sort of these things where when you get to rank 7 you get extra bonuses and stuff. That's how every Warhammer 2 faction works. It's streamlined. I think it's very helpful, especially kind of the buffet style here. So you don't have to get like a couple of points in something you may not care about just so that you can ramp over here. So I think that's a really cool layout, and I like how they brought it to, with this mod, back to the old world factions as well. And then here, they added in Renowned and Feared as always the end, which it pretty much, in all the Warhammer 2 things it is. And this is just so powerful because it gives you recruit rank, campaign movement speed, upkeep reduction, and a bunch of other stuff. So I really like how they brought that in here. And then they moved Wa Path, which was here, over to here. So you still have to be like a very high level 20 to get to it. But once again, this just kind of streamlines it, because in the base game there's some factions that it's just terrible. Like it's just like way different. Much more disparity between factions in the bottom blue tree. And typically when you're playing on Legendary, you need to go through the blue tree fairly early. I'm going a bit later here with the Goblins because everything's so cheap anyways. But typically you have to rush the upkeep reduction. Any upkeep reduction you could get. Because that's the name of the game on Legendary. It's just cost management on units a lot of times, because you get all these extra costs. Because everything, the upkeep is just way more. You have to spend money to deal with public order and all that stuff. So, anyways, that's pretty much the heart of it. It's all the same skills for the most part. The only thing they added in were the only thing they changed at all from the base one is these like level 7 things, and then they added in Renowned and Feared, and then everything else is just shifted around a little bit on the tree. So I think it's a really cool addition. And then with the rights, we're not going to be able to do the rights for a little bit, but they add in 4 of these basic rights. They don't give you an appreciable huge advantage. All of the people around you also have rights. Empire has some really good ones. But like Empire, Vampire Counts have some crazy ones. Those are really good. Dwarfs, all of them have these rights now, which is pretty cool. And I think they did a good job of balancing it as well. So nothing too crazy. I mean, this gives +5 fightiness to all of your army, so up to 25 fightiness. That's obviously really good, and recruitment for biggins. But you don't need the fightiness if you're recruiting a lot of times. Maybe. But it costs 5,000 gold and has a 25 turn cooldown. So that's like, it's okay. You get an Ragnarok Spider for 5,000 gold at your capital if you want. But you have to have the tier 5 Spider grounds anyway. So you can't cheat this and like get one of those out early. So that's okay. This Effigy of the Bad Moon is actually pretty cool. You get stalk for all your cavalry and infantry units, faction-wide. So that means they can't be spotted. For a long time. Then you get an extra ambush success chance and recruitment reduction for goblins and squigs. So that's an interesting little thing. And then this one gives you a dilemma. The one that I've seen most often is you can get like some minor buffs to everything. You get like +5 melee attack on all sorts of stuff, and so just like little cool things there. But yeah, so nothing like too game breaking. We won't be able to use them early. They're too expensive, but it's a nice little touch. It's a nice touch. Okay, what do we got here?
I'm the best. More boss.
We should get a rebellion next turn. Yeah, so we're just gonna keep cranking this. Getting up to 11. We're gonna get to like -700 gold or something. Oh, we can't do that actually. We're gonna go bankrupt if we do that. So that should be fine.
Ready for bossing?
I could try to grab the wall right now. We're gonna get it after we win the next fight, most likely.
The Empire.
I'm not sure. I mean, if we wanted to get crazy, we could just run it call right now. We might be able to, after we win this fight here. We might have enough gold. I'm gonna get rid of that and get one more archer. I think we might have enough to where when we get this wall, we might be able to
Boss of them night goblins.
Get the wall, come over here, raid the dwarf territory, and then hire a couple more off that dwarf income. And then maybe pop back over here and kill one more It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. But let's go ahead and we'll move forward here. Yeah, so getting the spider ground's definitely a bad idea early on. It's just much more important just to have like raw units, I think. I'm hoping the dwarves come back out on me like they did last time. They came about this time when I was fighting my second rebellion, I think. I don't know if they're going to do it again, though. Like, we can siege them and probably take them, but it's going to be a little tougher. Like, I could have done the +7 wall. Maybe I should be doing that with my secondary lord. The problem is, like, I need to recruit on him also. Okay, they are coming at me. Okay. Yes, they think they've got a good advantage here. Which, to be fair, I feel like they have to come out on me. Like, it seems dumb. Why would they leave their town? But if I get 2 WAs, then I can send, like, 70 units over there to siege them. And we will beat them. If I get that. So they kind of have to come out here to stop me, even though they don't have their garrison and their walls. Like, they're kind of in a tough spot with with kind of the strategy that I'm going here. It sort of forces them to come out because I'm just going to overwhelm them if they don't. Getting -700 here. But this does let me take care of them a bit faster, which is nice. Yeah, I actually want the obedience penalty. Because I want more rebellions. So it's kind of like some interesting like ways of thinking with this campaign. You got to get outside the box a little bit here. They're starting to get a couple more chevrons now. I think the more rebellions there are, the more chevrons you get. Okay, and we're going to stay in rebellion so that we get the extra leadership and all that good stuff. So we should hit a wall here, I think. I'm gonna attack with him so that he gets most of the fight in this. I hope. I don't know. I mean, maybe that's a mistake because this army would come in as a secondary army.
What?
That's how I want to run it, but I'm afraid I might take too many casualties if I do that. I'm gonna do it just for the hope that maybe I can get a wall on both of them. Well, I'm not gonna have 17 units. There's no, I can't afford that. I'm already in the negative here. Alright, let's just hit it with Skarsnik. Make sure we get a nice clean beat down.
Supreme ruler of 8 peaks. Going.
So you can run past people, I guess, in these mountain passes if you are attacking, but you can't walk past them. If it's a small gully, which was a huge problem before they fixed this, it was really annoying technically to try to run past people. Ow. So I got trolled on this one. So it's not giving me the fightiness, even though I should have been able to handle it. Damn, I really want that money. So that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes it feels like it'll give you a lot, and then other times it won't give you much at all. So we're going -2. We're going to 75. So if we did +7, that would give it to us. We go 4, that would take us -6. Take us to 71. Okay, so we can't get a wall next turn if we do this. Alright, so we've got to do probably the charge bonus. Which is not terrible, that's okay. This also gives my bigger army the charge bonus, so that's helpful.
I'm out of here.
Okay. Charmed shield. 20% damage resistance. Okay, they buffed that quite a bit. It used to just be missile parry, I thought. It's handy. Okay, drip and tips definitely gives your entire army poison. Very good. better night sneaking, and then maybe Root Marcher next. Having some campaign movement range is nice, although getting the shooters is good too. Although it's just ammo right now, which is not a huge deal. We can wait till next turn and then get 3 points to go all the way down shooters. Drip and Tips also applies to missile attacks. I didn't realize that when I first got it. So it's not just melee, it's also your missile attacks. I assume it would be artillery and things like that. Oh, actually, Get Back Here is really nice. I want Root Marcher or Get Back Here. I think maybe Get Back Here, actually. Yeah, because your leadership is a big problem with the Greenskins. Okay. Especially with goblins. Okay, we got damage walls. Next turn, we'll grab Wolf and Spider. I don't know, we might want Wolf on this, actually, just so we have some more movement. Spider's better, but Wolf is nice if we have to fight this anyways, just because that'll let us get back and maybe tie up their, like, Quarrelers or something. I don't know. All Dwarfs got this bonus of where, like, they do extra versus large a little bit. Oh, maybe that was a follower they had. I could have sworn that they had bonus versus large. Maybe that was a follower that they had that gave them that.
Night Gobbo War Boss.
Okay. I guess I'm just losing my mind. Alright, anyway, let's grab him real quick. So 3 points. Yeah, this.
Skarsnik, Warlord of 8
Okay,
Peaks.
so if they don't get a bonus, I guess we'll just do Giant Wolf, Bloody Blade, extra damage. How much extra does that mount cost? Let me see. Doesn't say. Not that much. I mean, mounts do cost extra, but it's not like an insane amount. Oh, we need to throw that on our Lord, though.
What a sucking it do you want?
Oh, we have 2 Swindlers. Okay, should have double checked that. Do we have an additional Swindler?
You want schemes? I got schemes.
We've got it on him. Does he have a Swindler? He does. Okay, so we've got 3 Swindlers. Nice. I like it. Okay.
Boss of them night goblins.
Alright, so what we need to do now is hop back over here. How much? This is 50%, right? Can I get there? Yeah, okay, so we can get there.
See you later. Right then, let's do it. Who needs stabbing? You need help? Getting it done.
There's gonna be 2 turns on the rebellion.
I'm
It's
Trixie.
getting dicey. It's getting dicey.
Great and powerful war boss.
I don't know if I'm able to go for the double up.
Do you take me for a wazzock?
I really want to
War
hire like,
boss.
1 more unit, but I can pop him in here and it'll save 10% next turn.
I got me brother.
But I also don't want to go bankrupt.
Who can I stab?
I'm gonna hold off on it. I'm gonna hold off on it.
Plotting and scheming.
So when we get that rebellion, I really, really hope the my wad doesn't attack the rebellion.
Skarsnik.
Well, if I'm not, I need to raid. Like, I want to step in here to save some gold, but I also need to raid. I guess in like a worst case scenario, I could just pop over here and raid Empire and get some gold back, and then put the other person in.
Night Gobbo
I mean, I could
War
just
Boss.
delete some units too, you know, if I was gonna go bankrupt. Okay. There's stuff. I have options.
What a sucking it do you
Alright,
want?
I think that's fine. Like, I really want to hire that extra couple of battalions. Did I not get the wall? I guess, like, I'll be at 80 next turn. And then I will need to, pop over to get the wall. Yeah, we're gonna decline that one. So he's using the underway. Okay. Interesting. I don't think we want to fight them in the underway. I've never seen them jump around to this side before. Last time, they got really close to my
Lots of plans.
to my garrison. Okay, I do have the wall.
Boss of them night goblins.
Oh, we didn't get any trolls this time, which kind of sucks. You get, like, just random units. You get so many. Like, I think it sort of calculates it based on the cost of the units. We did get 2 rock lobbers, which is really good against... Which are really good against
No,
dwarves.
I will not share my plan.
Who needs stabbing?
That's not enough power. We can't beat them without a garrison or the wall.
Ancestors.
I'm a schemer.
Do I need extra wall breaches? Kind of just want to be as powerful as I can be. Maybe just getting extra 3 melee attack would be better. I mean, if I beat this army, I'm going to be able to destroy their walls. All right, I'm gonna get that town down there. So I think the main thing right now is just beat the army.
What you want? I hear ya. Who's the boss? I got plans. A scheme worthy of Skarsnik. I'm leaving. I like a good plan. Ready for
Let's see if we can
bossing?
bait them into fighting right here. And if I can get the help from the garrison as well,
Great
that'd be
and
delightful.
powerful war
But,
boss. Night Gobbo war boss. Oh, I'm gonna enjoy this. Forwards! Alright, alright!
No, I'm not at 17 units yet. I could also just pop into this town,
What is sucking
see if they come at me, and that would save a little bit of money. I mean, we're gonna get a rebellion next turn. Basically, do I want to buy 7 wall
Boss of them
here?
night goblins.
I mean, if we win this fight, we're gonna have the wall
Standing.
anyways. Maybe
Alright
let's go
then.
ambush.
I'll do it.
maybe they won't see at least one of these.
Great and powerful war boss.
Normally I would attack them, but I'm telling y'all, especially in these tunnels, like they have 4 chevrons to start. Like everything they recruited has 4 chevrons on it. Like they're extremely dangerous.
Don't think so.
Like I need at least 40 units to beat them. Like no joke. Even with pretty good micro. Let's do it. Let's see if we can get this here. Wow, okay, well there goes my wall. That's rough. We can get a wall on the second unit though. I mean, that did... I guess that softened him up a little bit. Now maybe I can fight him. I don't know how much it softened him up. Probably not much. So he just kind of suicided in there, but I guess we'll see. I mean, I can beat him without this wall, and then I can hand off some units and probably... Okay, a little bit. Alright. Okay, so we get the garrison also. Alright, so this is what we want, and we'll fight him. It'll be a big, good fight. But you'll see, like, that 20-stack wall that had, like, rock wobbers. I mean, it wasn't, like, an insane army, obviously. But it's, like, an okay 20-stack. Probably similar to, like, mine in terms of just raw power and numbers. Mine might be slightly higher, but probably not that much. Barely dinged them. You know, it probably knocked out 20% of their army. Dwarves are strong. Dwarves are really strong. I mean, even right now, it's still saying that I could have as low as like a 60% chance, even with like a, what is this, like a 40 stack? 40 on 20. Why is he losing? Oh, because of the wah. Okay, yeah. Alright, let's do it. So we did get the ambush. There's a pretty good chance that like one of those armies was going to go undetected. So yeah, they didn't see him. But it's still not going to be easy. Now, ambushes are pretty sweet. Obviously, because I get like positional advantage is huge. Although my reinforcing armies are not coming in right away, so it still is going to be on the rough side. You know, knock out their quarrelers as early as we can. I mean, I guess the quarrelers aren't like a huge issue, but we only have 4 groups of archers, which is a little on the rough side. Knocking out that catapult is a huge deal, though. That thing... And the other time I attempted this campaign, one of the other times I attempted this campaign, the fanatics, almost always forget to like use those. Okay. Let me have these come over here and try to like face tank this and then release my spinning loons in there. I think that might be a bit better. And yeah, like right here, just free fire on them. I mean, part of me says that I like should just wait on these reinforcements, but if I let them form up in their little walls, it's better just to go ahead and get this around, I think.
Stabbers ready! Running! Running! Moving fast!
Alright, I need to protect the archers.
Goblins! I'm on it, kids! Warlord of 8 pinks! Run in! Get him! Moving fast! I'll kill him all!
Oh no.
Run in! Happy to help!
That's fine.
Nasty skulkers! We is gobos!
Break this line on the side here.
Moving fast! Nasty skulkers! Shifting it! Alright, alright! Nasty skulkers! Charge! More quantity! Running! Warlord of 8 feet! Stickers ready! Squig hoppers! Stickers ready! Gonna kill us! Whatever! Gonna kill him! Running! I'm ready! Goblin is hungry! Doing it! We do it! We the one!
No, I might lose my fanatics. I mean, they're not like an insanely powerful like unit that I have to have, but
Goblin! You saw! Squig hoppers! Moving fast! Stick it! Fight for move! Night is here! Running! Moving fast! Running! Squig hoppers! Running! Goblin! Moving fast! That's already! Warlord of 8 peaks! Nasty skulkers! Running! Stabby time!
low bros, low bros, low bros. Don't need to fire
Moving fast!
low dudes anymore at this point.
Gonna kill him! Got it!
Oh, really?
These gobos!
Oh, you're doing some
Goblin!
damage to my squig.
Moving fast! The lads are ready! Where is gobos? Goblins! Only gonna kill him! Where is gobos? Let's rush! Gonna kill him! Gonna kill him! Moving fast! We is better than them! Warlord of 8 peaks! Rip out their throats!
I killed them.
Fight! Fight for more! We is better than them! Rally!
I mean, maybe I could have done that with just, I don't know. I was doing pretty well with just the 20 stack there, but
Gonna stab 'em!
they're very scary, trust me.
Gobbies! Moving fast!
I'm gonna kill as many of these as we possibly can. I love the Squig Riders, they're great.
Let's scrap! Helping out! You're the boss! We the one!
As you can see, it kind of gives my graphics card a bit of a workout here too. So you want to be sure to turn your graphics down or
Let's fight! Running!
whatever with it, because there's so many like units going. As you can see, I have a pretty good graphics card. I have a TI 89, or 980, sorry, not 89, TI 980 with like liquid cooling, and it's still. My wife was like, "Man, it is hot in there." Yesterday when I was playing, I was like, "Yeah," kind of trying to calculate the physics on, you know, 6,000 entities. No, 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 no! Stop! 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 Stop. Do not fire in a moment. Not worth right now. those rundown kills.
Moving fast.
Yeah, as you can see, like
Gonna kill him.
they
Let's go.
there's just so many arrows flying through before off of those goblins.
Moving fast. Running.
Why are my goblins thinking of running?
What am I doing? Warlord of 8 peaks. Stab him up.
I'm gonna make sure we kill the Lord. There's all this other stuff going on here. I can't even look at that or my graphics card's gonna explode.
Gobbo's rule.
We need to kill as many of these little clowns as we can so they can't replenish. We can chase them down. These are kind of cool. I mean, it is lagging a little bit here, obviously, because there's so much stuff going on. Yeah, they look... Those are really cool units. Oh, there we go. I have it on the highest graphics settings. But, yeah, this is... I maybe need to turn it down a little bit for this campaign. Usually it's not that bad, but...
Running. Moving fast.
Okay, we did get their lord.
Oh, show him.
I'm not even gonna look at it. We'll just see. Like really fast mode. Okay, let's just get the normal goblins out of there, just so that like the things that actually do more damage can get in. Just like the skulkers and the lords, probably enough. I mean, we have poison on them, so they're not getting out. Sometimes if you're trying to run down and kill stuff at the end, then getting sort of the dinky stuff that just doesn't do damage, just because there's so many entities that just clog it up. I do need to make sure I kill as many as I can in here. Lower that melee attack a little bit. Come on. Jesus. I mean, what is going on? Why are we not hitting them? Did I tell them to, like, hit the flag that was in the middle and they just can't reach it? Is that what happened? Because this feels, like, a little ridiculous. Like, that defense, though, like, dwarves, hello. Like, they're not even fighting back. My units can just literally just eat them. It just feels like they're just not hitting them. That is one sort of kind of annoying thing sometimes about this game is, like, they won't make, like, what I would consider to be, like, common sense decisions. Like, if I tell them to attack something in the middle, then they won't attack, like, other closer things that are in the way. Or if your unit's just sitting there and, like, gets attacked, it won't naturally attack back. You have to manually tell it to attack back a lot of times. Or at least in some circumstances. Okay, we kind of got them split up here. Holy crap. kill them. What is going on? Alright, let's get the spiders out of there. Where are the spiders? I feel like they're just not doing much. Make room. Like, this dude can't even get in there. There we go. Let's try getting these guys out of there, too. What the actual... Hello? Are they dying? Are they, like, invulnerable? Is this a glitch? There's no way. Okay, there go a couple of them. Alright, now they decided to attack. Okay, I'm seeing some shields flop around now. Like, what was going on there? They just, like, weren't attacking him. They were just, like, running in circles or something. Get that guy. Thank you. Sorry about that. I don't know. But, like, I need to kill them all. So if they can't replenish, or, like, when I fight them again, they're not going to have extra stuff. I mean, these look like they killed a zillion units, but a lot of that was because they ran down everybody that was left. So they are very, very effective, but they're not, like, as insane as that number looks under normal circumstances. Alright, so sorry that, like, the last 5 minutes of that fight, I just wanted to make sure that we got him. Yeah, the Fanatics don't feel quite as strong as they could or should, I think. I don't know. Like, when I released them, I only released them once. I should have microed them and released them more. That is one thing, if you get a lot of Fanatics or these little Skulker guys, like, you have to keep up with their cooldowns and constantly use that stuff. Which is kind of a tall order for small infantry when you're trying to micro 40 things, you know? It's hard enough to keep up with a lot when you have, like, a Lord and, like, 2 or 3 heroes to keep up with all those cooldowns. Kind of tempted just to take the gold here because I can't get a Wa anyways. Although my other army, I don't know if it's going to take the penalty as well if I get the Wa. 1,400 gold's a lot. I don't necessarily think we're going to need the Wa for the next fight. I mean, the siege is going to be tough though. I don't know if that hurts both people in terms of their Wa or not, but... And we do have the post-Wa blues anyways. So we're going to get +4 with the other guy. I think we can go ahead and do it. Oh. Is that the rebellion started way over there? What? That's awkward. That means they're going to have a 14 stack before I can even deal with them. Because they didn't start near my... Why are they starting at the edge of my territory instead of near my town? Seems pretty troll. We did get glittering scales.
Supreme ruler of 8 peaks.
Okay, we'll figure it out next episode, though. We did, I mean, we can beat them, even if they get some extra stuff, probably.
You're not right, Dad.
Yeah, they're taking attrition, too. That's fine.
Skarsnik, warlord of 8 peaks. Great and powerful war boss.
Okay, so he just didn't get any Wa stuff there. That's fine. Did get some extra cash, though, so we should be able to get him to a 17 stack, I hope, soon. But that'll be it for this episode, so we're going to come down here, clean up the dwarfs.
Gobblers hungry.
Thing.
Ready for bossing.
I think we can clean these dwarfs up.
I have no time
Come down
for
here,
this.
clean up these dwarfs, and then we'll go over there and kill them. So, anyways, that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed it. It's a very exciting, cool campaign. Be sure to check out the next couple episodes. We'll go down here, clean up Carrick Norden, and we'll start making our way south. So, thanks. Don't forget, if you watch several episodes in this, you find yourself watching 4 or 5 episodes, don't forget to like, subscribe if you haven't already. It does help other people find the content and enjoy the same kind of like good, challenging, legendary content that I hope you enjoy. So, thank you very much. Have a good day. See you next time.